Hi guys, this is John again from the Glam Fairy. I've had loads of requests for doing acrylic nails. Also for about how to apply acrylic as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, is just showing you how to apply acrylic and structure and things like that really. So today I've basically drawn out some little plans of how it all should be. And I've also, just going to show you, I've also pre-tipped my model's hand, so you've got a nice tip there. Sorry if you can't see this very properly. Come on. Okay, so the structure of your acrylic is obviously quite important, because if the structure of your acrylic isn't quite good, then the whole structure of the nail is not going to last. There is a certain way that you need to do it. Also, powder to liquid ratio of your acrylic powder and your acrylic liquid is really important. So I would say practice for that as well. Right. I'm just trying to go back to the beginning of this. Okay. So with the basics of your acrylic nail is... Okay, so on here we have obviously a diagram of a nail. Side walls, smile line, and obviously that's your cuticle area. Free edge. So those are the parts that you need to know about your nails. This is representing your C-curve, and this is what your C-curve should look like if you're looking at your nails face on. It should be 1/2 of a circle, which is 50%. Now with the acrylic nail, you've got your apex, which is here, and then straight out, which is the bridge. Okay. Now, again, when you're doing any acrylic nail, i.e. a competition square nail, i.e. stiletto, ballerina, whatever it may be, it all needs to correspond as the same. So in this one, we're basically doing a square nail. So with a square nail, it needs to come straight out, and this is obviously your apex, and then the bridge is basically exactly the same width. Now on a normal nail, it would die down a little bit as it comes to the free edge, because with a natural tip, obviously it needs to look natural, so it can't be quite thick on the free edge side of things, so it needs to be quite thinly. Now when you're applying the acrylic, you can do it in 3 zones, or if you're really skilled and really trained, you can do it all in one. So basically, zones wise, the middle part, so if you imagine this is obviously a pre-blended tip. Now obviously your blend would be here, of where obviously you've glued your tip on. So this would be your zone 1, zone 2, and then your cuticle area will be zone 3. Now, again, I'm just going to show you this as well. Okay. So we're going to get our acrylic. Now, some people just dip their brush into the monomer and then they drag it along the acrylic. I don't actually do that, but mind you, this is all self-preference. If you drag it along the acrylic, then your acrylic is setting at different times. But if you leave your brush in the acrylic just for a couple of seconds to pick up a really big ball, and then that's all drying at once. Now if you place the ball in zone 1, which would be where the blend is, which is basically your stress point. If you place it on, leave it for a couple of seconds just to spread itself out, and then pat it from side to side, and then gently fade the edge of that down towards the free edge. Don't worry about this back area. Sorry if you can't see. Don't worry about this back area where the cuticle area is just of yet. All we're concentrating on is the stress area. Okay, so once that's done, then you're going to pick up another ball, and then on this one, this ball, I dry bead it. So I take the liquid out of the back to make it a little more drier so it sets a little bit quicker. Then you're going to place it on the free edge. Again, leave that to do its thing. And then you're going to pat it from side to side. Now you want this ball to be to dry a little bit quicker, and then you also want to make it thinner. Obviously you don't want it too thin because there still needs to be product on there to keep the structure nice and strong. But you want it quite thinly so you're not basically taking up half your time to file it. So then you just want to brush that down, making it nice and thin at the free edge. So that when you come to polish as well, it doesn't make it look too thick. It also makes it look like a nice natural looking nail as well. Okay? Now with the cuticle area, what you want to do is that you want to tilt your client's finger downwards. If you have it upwards, and then once you've put your acrylic on, the acrylic's going to run back and flood into the cuticle area. So that would be here. So it would run back and flood this area, and then you have a nice big blob of acrylic down that area there. So, as I say, so you want to tilt the client's finger forward. And now again, some people say to not take the liquid out of the bead, but I actually do again just to make it a little bit drier. Not so that it sets quicker, just so that it doesn't run over the place. And then place it on, again let it do its thing, just for a couple of seconds, and then go back in. Your brush is basically going to be in between the acrylic and your cuticle area. So you're basically pushing it and patting it to fit around the cuticle area, depending on your cuticle shape. Because many cuticles are in different shapes. You don't have that nice flush, lush, round cuticle. Not everyone does. And then what you want to do is just kind of not pushing and dragging it. Once you've got that nice and flush around, the cuticle area, you don't want to touch it anymore. You don't want to concentrate just on the zone of where zone 1 and 3 kind of connects, and you just want to gently blend that across zone 1. So basically what you're doing is you're actually layering the acrylic. So again, if you imagine, obviously this is the layer of your acrylic, yeah? If you imagine another layer here, and then another layer here. So what you're basically doing is, even though this layer of zone 1 is already blended down, this layer is basically built up here, because that's why the dry bead has done. It's basically dried there, so that's nice and strong. And then this kind of bit, this zone here, which is like the borderline of zone 1 to zone 3, you're basically blending that over the top of zone 1 if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, and then once you've done that, obviously you want to check from a side view point of view, so it should be coming up and then down. So it's like a nice curve, really. If you feel like that you need to put a little bit more product on any bits, on anything, obviously do so. But again, I would try and avoid to make it like thick, if that makes any sense. Like, I would try to not put too much product on it, or else you'll just basically hassling yourself for when you come to filing. The thinner the product, the less time filing, basically. So that is basically that's basically how you do an acrylic application, really. So, I mean, if you have any questions, please obviously don't hesitate to ask me and things like that. I would definitely say that I would definitely say that it is all about practice. Even if you just take your acrylic by taking random beads from your pot and just pop them on a paper towel, and just seeing how runny they are, how dry they are. If it's a super dry ball, I wouldn't waste your time trying to put it on the nail, because it would just dry in seconds and then it'd be no good, because it just falls straight off. If it's a really runny wet ball, then again, I wouldn't waste my time, just scrape it off. It needs to be a really good consistency to do anything with. If you've got a wet ball, but it's not that wet where it's running over the place, but it's still wet, if you feel like that you need to make it drier, then basically just flip your brush around on the towel and just take the liquid out the back of the brush a little bit. Not until the ball becomes completely dry. It still needs to be a really good wet consistency. So, as I said before, practice is the way to go for doing acrylic application. I mean, it took me a while to master it. I mean, to be fair, I'm still in a way learning myself. So, even though that I am qualified in acrylics and nail treatments, but in this industry it is learn all the way every single day. So yeah, that's basically my way of doing acrylics and how to apply acrylic application. I hope it has helped a little bit. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Or if not, you can find me on Facebook, which is the Glam Fairies Hair and Beauty. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this. Please subscribe. So yeah, thank you. Bye.